We might want to check this out.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Warsat Radio Episode 6. We've got 6 episodes in the bag. We're so happy to continue to be doing this. I'm COBRA, your host, and joining me is my co-host. He's legendary. He's the only. The Glimmer spending. The raid ending. The Gallahorn pending. Eclipse.
Oh, that was awesome.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. No Gallahorn still, so I'm still Gallahorn pending.
That's okay. That's okay. You're going to get it. So, the big news of the day, of the week. We're going to get right into it, or we're going to wait?
No, this is breaking. Breaking news.
Okay, breaking news. Start us off. Are we breaking the breaking, or are we breaking the old Eurogamer part?
No, we're breaking the breaking. We're breaking the damage control is what we're breaking.
Okay,
because
so
that's essentially what this is. This is damage control.
Exactly. What we were planning all week, we're excited about this, was the Eurogamer angry interview that everyone was so upset about.
Yes.
You've heard it from other podcasts, but we wanted our take as well, because Eclipse sent this to me Monday, I believe.
I pretty much, I think I saw it right after it come out, maybe just a little bit after. I think I saw it around 5 o'clock our time, and I don't know what time it come out. I mean, normally that stuff probably dropped, 1, 2 o'clock our time, so.
I was sitting out by the pool, and you're like, read this. I gotta read this. I'm like, okay. I was reading these comments from Luke Smith, and I was like, it's kind of some dickhead comments.
Yeah, major dickhead comments.
And I started reading, and I saw the fire that had been burning on this for a little bit. So, yeah, we wanted to talk about it.
Yeah,
But
a lot of things that he said, I think were misinterpreted by everybody, but they came off to be. He came off as a huge dick, is what it was. That's how he came off. I don't, we don't know the guy in real life. We don't know his personality. Like he said in the weekly update that we're getting to, but the way it come off, it angered so many people.
It did. It seemed okay. Let's go back to the point. We're going to get to the interview.
Yeah,
we're still going to talk about it. You've heard about that, so we're going to drop this news first on our podcast. Not first, but we'll be the first ones recording it as far as we know.
Yep.
So damage control has played, and now we're going to adjust this collector's edition. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
From what it reads is
this is from the mid-weekly update.
This is the
Wednesday
part
night.
1 of 2 weekly updates, which they pushed out early, which I'm surprised they did. I did not expect to see this today. I expected to see something Tuesday, but when I didn't see anything Tuesday, I didn't think they were going to drop anything early at all. Mm-hmm. They said, hey, we're going to say something in the weekly update. That's fine. I didn't expect it to come a day early, or half of it to come a day early. But like I said, this is their damage control. They pissed a lot of people off with that interview. And not so much the interview, but other things. But I think the interview is what I heard somebody say, it lit the fuse or blew the bomb. And that's what that's essentially what that interview did. It made everybody blow up.
It certainly did.
Now they're offering the digital content from the collector's edition for $20,
which is class items.
Class items, armor set,
right,
and
some emotes.
Emotes, 3 emotes for $20.
All right, so pretty much this is a macro transaction pack.
Yeah.
Of digital items.
Yeah, I think it's their best option they could have done right now. I think what they still need to do, if they want the money, which we all know that's what they're about, they're a company, you got to be about money or you're not going to make it.
Right.
They need to offer a, I don't know what they would call it. My vernacular vocabulary is not that good. But give it a cool last name. And offer the Taken King and the new season pass. And the
season pass including what?
The next 2 unannounced expansions that we're going to get.
I'll buy that for $1.
So if they were to do this, just figure you've got Taken King for $40. Offer a season pass, and items, the digital items, for $80.
Right.
Now, that's probably making them less money, come to think about it, since they're now charging $20 for the digital items. If you take Taken King as $40 and you figure a season pass is going to be $35 again, you know, it would be like we're getting the digital content, the digital items for $5. Either way, I think I don't understand why they did not did not have an option for Taken King and expansion 3 and 4. I don't understand why they did not do that.
Maybe they didn't look at it as something that would be needing an add-on, because for that $40 price tag they're saying that is kind of 2 expansions in one as far as the price.
Yeah.
Because the quote-unquote value of what you... Well, maybe that's jumping into the collector's edition part, but as far as the Taken King part, you're getting X number of raids. I don't know if they're sprinkling in the PlayStation exclusive raids for us Xbox players.
Yes, they are.
Because that's that's extra stuff.
That is extra stuff for us, not so much for PlayStation. But in this whole, in the beginning of this week, it's been said that we are getting Undying Mind and Dust Palace and Hawkmoon and Fourth Horseman and whatever the 2 PvP maps are.
Mind and Palace are the PlayStation strikes, by the way.
Yeah,
the exclusive for the first year.
The exclusive PlayStation strikes, that one that dropped with the game, one that dropped with Dark Below, and then the guns that dropped Hawkmoon and... actually, we get 3 guns: Hawkmoon, Monte Carlo, and Fourth Horseman.
I kind of want that Monte Carlo. So, yeah.
We get all of that as an Xbox player on the 15th. And
the ability to get it. The chance to get it.
What do you mean, the chance?
They're not going to give us those weapons. We're gonna have to
yeah, the weapons. Yeah, I was referring to the strikes.
Okay.
But yeah, the weapons. We're going to now be able for RNG to bless us with a Hawkmoon or a Monte Carlo or a Fourth Horseman or whatever. Or hopefully Xur sells them and I can buy them with my pile of strange coins I've got that I have no use for. But we get all those, and they're revamping them, is what they said. They are they're redoing them. I take it to mean that they're going to make it a harder level, and it's going to be a Taken-themed enemy that's going to be in there. Like, the same enemies, but they'll be Taken. So instead of Undying Mind, you'll be fighting just regular Minotaurs and Phalanxes and whatever else is in that strike. You'll now be fighting Taken Phalanxes and Minotaurs and yada, yada, yada.
I can see that.
And that way, they've said that way that they keep it, they're trying to keep it new, and also giving it to the Xbox players.
I understand.
So it's got a different kind of, a little bit more of a replayability factor. Right. I think those maps will get tossed into Nightfall rotation, which will be kind of nice because it seems like Nightfalls are getting so repetitive. I was so happy to see the Mars strike pop up this week because I have not seen that strike in 2 months, I think. I don't know exactly how long it's been, but I'm so sick of seeing Archon Priest, Omnigul, Sepkus, and even the new one, Shadow Thief. I haven't played it that much, but I just had a feeling it was going to be, this week, it was going to be Archon Priest. I had a feeling that's what it was going to be.
Nightfalls were exciting when we were challenged. Now it's kind of sleepfall for me because I'm about to fall asleep on them.
Yeah.
I still do them for the exotic chance, but this week I'm kind of like, But let me rewind a little bit. So $40 for all this. You and I both said $40 was never an issue.
Right. $40 is not an issue to me. I
have no problem with that.
I don't remember if I stated it in the last in episode 5 or not. I expected to pay $60 for this expansion.
I didn't know that. Did not know that.
When we first learned about it, of hey, I've got this game that I'm now addicted to. I've got, there's going to be 2 expansions that's going to come out, and then another big expansion next year. Speaking back 5, 6, 7 months ago, I expected, okay, well, it's going to be there were rumors going around, it's going to be a disc-based expansion. It's going to be that big. I was like, well, I'm mentally preparing myself to pay $60 for a disc-based expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of surprised to see the $40 mark. I was happy to see the $40 mark, because that way I ain't got to pay $60 for it.
I don't know if it's as big as that for me. I don't know if I guess I would have paid $60 because you are.
Peer
I'd be playing.
real.
Yeah.
Well,
but
and now
seems extreme.
Now, see what, and this is another thing, is we haven't even mentioned him yet. Devin, the disgruntled Destiny player, doesn't quite understand. With us doing this podcast, we have to, unless we just drop the podcast, which I don't want to drop, you don't want to drop. We have fun doing this.
We certainly do.
So we can't go and not buy something Destiny related when something new like that comes out. Otherwise, we have nothing to talk about.
Exactly.
It would get really old really quick. Maybe a week or two we could talk about what's going on in it, but without any personal experience, it's a big difference.
Yeah, that's a must.
Yeah, it is. It's a must for us.
We like the big D. Is that safe to say?
You can say it.
Oh,
I'm not saying it.
I've been referring to the game as the big D. Anyway, so $40.
Hold on, the game is
King.
the big D, because it fucks me over all the time because I won't get a Gallahorn.
That's awesome.
Yeah, shots fired. So
anyway, Taken King, $40, no problem there. We ran away from damage control a little bit,
did.
but here's what they're doing. They're going to put $20 on top of your regular
Taken
edition
King
of
download. Yeah,
there you go, and you can get the digital stuff.
Yes,
they're also going to add $20 to the Legendary collection. You can get that as well, which would turn yours into
a collector's edition.
Collector's, right?
Which essentially, I guess, if you're going that route, and I guess that's for the people that can't get their pre-orders in for the quote-unquote collector's edition to get the book and the coin and the whatever, the physical stuff that comes with the collector's edition, the metal case and the stuff like that. That's for those people, I think, that just want the shaders and the shader, the emote, and the armor, and the digital stuff. That
right.
I hope they're not stupid enough to, maybe not stupid, that's not the right word, but
careless.
Yeah, if they're careless enough to not research what they're buying, if they're still able to get a true collector's edition, then that's they kind of fall into that category, I guess.
Yeah,
it's laziness.
How much money did you throw at the screen, by the way?
I have not thrown a single dollar at the screen yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah,
but to throw in the other part of this news we got here, it does state, this is from Luke on the Bungie Weekly Update, the Part 1 update. If you purchase the digital collector's edition, you already own Destiny in both expansion packs. We'll have some additional information for you soon. So I assume tomorrow they're going to be doing something for you guys who bought the digital collector's edition.
I don't expect it tomorrow. I expect it to be a little bit longer than tomorrow.
Okay.
I think they'll leave us hanging for a little bit with this. I think they're trying to put this out here to satisfy us, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
And then they'll talk about it later down the road.
Yeah, they have time to still work with it. The next part in here, it does say, if you want to get caught up on all the options available for Destiny the Taken King, you can view the details here, which just takes you to the store page where it lists the physical items, the strange coin, the steelbook, the shaders, the Year 1 exclusive, things like that. Not really exclusives, but the what's the word for that?
Digital content?
Yeah, digital content. Let's wrap it up with that. It does say you won't see the collector's edition upgrade as we described above. So if you go to the store now expecting to see that $20 add-on, it's not yet there. So damage control, definitely. And Luke does state in this little letter to everyone that he does see that how he came across careless.
Yeah, he made a
ass-headed.
He made a very good apology. That's it was satisfied me. From what I read, I'm satisfied from. I think he redeemed himself pretty good against how he come across in the Eurogamer article that we'll cover later. But I think a lot of that was just his personality and how he answered it, and that article that was just literally word for word putting it out there, and you can't You can't relay sarcasm across the internet or across text very well.
No, you
can, but you can't do it very well. So, and I think when people read that, if you just read it straight out, it's, I think that's where a lot of the problem was. But I think how he went back and how he did this in this weekly update, in this little letter or whatever you want to call it, in this weekly update, I think he redeemed himself in my eyes.
I still have a bit of a
bad taste.
Not a grudge. Yeah, bad taste is good. We're all going to get what we want.
Right.
It seems like. We mentioned pre-show, kind of discussing everything, how this might be moving us into the microtransaction world.
That's what it seems like.
And to talk about that for a few minutes, I don't mind having ability to purchase an emote, having ability to purchase a shader. Well, shaders might get a little bit iffy there.
Shaders would get iffy because I want some of the shaders I cannot get, but the problem with me is I don't want to pay for this shit.
Well,
I already pay enough for it. I don't think I should get it handed to me in game either. I would like to see maybe the shaders drop a different way. Speaking shader wise, the emotes if they were there to purchase, I don't care. I probably would never buy one. Unless they were $1, and I might do it if there was a really cool one out. I never bought any digital camo or any of the camo on Call of Duty or anything like that for my guns. That
is dumb. I'm sorry.
It is, and that's essentially that's what we're talking about right now.
I don't want to do that, but I do understand why they would want to do that. That's a successful business model for a lot of games. But what you said earlier did make me think more about this too. If it's in the game and we go to play the game to earn it, to find it, we don't need to go buy it.
Right.
But also we mentioned this also. If we start entering that territory, we're buying emotes. Shaders are gray areas because we get those drops and we are excited to get those drops in, and it makes us work towards something.
Yeah.
Then there's no point of having a goal.
Right.
Because that would also lend
if I could buy a dead orbit shader, and I would buy if I would buy a dead orbit shader, then I would have no reason to run dead orbit and have no reason to run the bounties and try to get that shader and rank up my level up to whatever it is now to try to get it. That grind is gone. That replayability is gone for that aspect of it.
Exactly. Now that's a transition. Do you do that for? You said it there too. You have no reason to go play the game.
Right.
What if we start doing that with weapons? I would hope.
No, there's no way they would do that with weapons.
I pray to the speaker you guys never do that.
Unless it's a Galahorn and I'll buy one. I don't care.
And you broke the game right there.
We're
done.
I did. I broke the game.
We're done. We'll see you guys later on episode 7. No. So there's just no way we can do that. And that addresses the random drop RNG-ness of the game, which I think is perfect because we all have the same chance.
Yeah.
I don't want to start
I don't know about the same chance. No, we do not have the same chance.
We have the same chance.
No, we don't.
I will say it right here.
Damn it, you've gotten 4 Galahorns, I've gotten none. We don't have the same chance.
You've gotten 2 Fatebringers, I've gotten 1.
Okay, but still.
Did you hear that silence? Anyway, so if we start going in that territory, then we might as well just say, Bungie, here's a lot of money. Now I've got this stuff, I'm not going to play the game again. That just breaks the point of playing for the items. I mean, there's no goal to go after.
Yeah.
Hopefully never do that. We can't do that. That's a totally different game. All these games where you have microtransactions and you increase faster or you can play through the game easier, I have a problem with that because I'm not going to pay for it and I'm not going to go up against people who are spending $50 a month
I agree.
on these buffs, on this, I don't know, like World of Tanks, or I can't think of another one right now. I don't want to compete with that.
Neverwinter, wasn't that one of them? Didn't they do microtransactions?
I think Neverwinter's like that.
Yeah.
You can still play through that game without spending any money. I've actually played that 2 weekends ago, and it's not fun, but you can still do it. If they can do it in a way where there's exclusive, you can buy these only, then do it. But if it's something you can get in the game,
if it's anything
or buy,
other than cosmetic, it does not need to be in this game as a purchasable item.
I agree, but I say put that in 2 different classes. Here's the ones you can buy. You can't get that any other way because we're still in the same playing field. We all have the opportunity to go buy that item.
Right, yeah.
Because someone Okay. Someone who's in the game searching for that dead orbit one that's black, I forgot what that one's called, that we both want.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go I went and bought mine. I am playing for, or you're playing for yours. You might cave and just buy it, and then you've sold your fun.
Yeah, and then you know what's going to happen then is the next dead orbit package you do get, you're going to get it.
Oh yeah,
that's
exactly.
RNG slapping you in the face is what that is.
Refund.
Yes.
So
the only thing, like I said, the only thing is non-cosmetic items that are not, like you said, that aren't in game. Like if they sell an emote of my Guardian flicking somebody else off, that's the only thing that needs to be bought. And that emote will not be able to drop anywhere in game. That's I mean that's that's all we can say about that. I hope it doesn't come into all kinds of microtransactions, and I don't think it will. But Activision kind of holds the reins on that one for the final say. I think.
Speaking of really crazy microtransactions, let's talk about the blacksmith shader. So at E3, you were able to get this card that had the blacksmith shader on it, and it's all the rage. Everyone wants one. They're giving them away left and right. If you check any of these Twitter feeds, they'll have a picture of 4, 5, 6. Here you go, a picture of the codes. Everyone races to put them in the code entry, and you get that shader. I was looking on eBay because I kept hearing about how expensive they were, and I went and sorted through some of these auctions who've been finishing as of late. So I searched for completed auctions, which means there's been a payment made. And I sorted it price shipping highest first. And there is a Destiny Legendary item Blacksmith Armor Shader for PlayStation 4 that has sold for $600.
That is insane.
Now, is it money laundering? It could be. Sometimes people do that. Is it someone who has more money than knows what to do with? Probably. Did they get a refund? Maybe too. They might have got a refund, but if you search for completed auctions on eBay, that is a transaction has been made. So
and what I don't understand is, and like I said, I wish I would have. I told you this a while back. If I would have been smart enough and realized it, and I don't think I was that addicted to this game when this come out, you get the blacksmith shader for free if we would have pre-ordered Advanced Warfare. All we'd have to do is pre-order Advanced Warfare, go cash in the shader, and then go take our money off or put it on something else on the pre-order, and been done, and not had to ever play the game. And now, I mean, it's an awesome looking shader, but
black and yellow,
not $600.
No. Now, yesterday when I was looking at this, I did see a $202 one, which was the highest at that time that I had seen, but I do not see it on this list. Under $600, you got $179, another $179, $150. A lot of $150 have sold. $150 seems to be the going price. Then $135. So
that's just crazy. And I think the reason we're seeing these come out is they were handing them out at E3. So I think that's where a lot of people got their hands on them.
They're trying to make their ticket money back.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
So all the way down to, I think, $23 the cheapest I've seen. So they got themselves a good deal. So that shows you people do want this digital content. And in that interview from Eurogamer, which Luke took a fat dump on everyone, he was pretty much saying you guys will pay for it.
Yeah.
So here's the price.
Yeah, and Red Bull said the same thing.
Red Bull?
Yeah, Red Bull said the same thing.
Someone who's not even in the gaming industry said, we'll take anyone's table scraps for massive amounts of money.
Right. We'll cover this a little later, but they were talking about the promotion they got going that will give us a quest. And somebody somewhere in that industry made the comment of Destiny players are used to paying money used to paying a lot of money for content like this, is how it was put, paraphrased, kind of, somewhere along those lines.
Gamers or Destiny players, because there's not been a lot of Destiny information or payments we've had to make other than expansions.
Right. I mean, we haven't had to pay anything other than expansions. I mean, there's nothing else we can buy.
Now, gamers, I'll say they're correct on, but I don't know about Destiny.
Yeah, it may have been gamers, but I think I might have said Destiny just because it's a Destiny promotion.
Funny how they say that and then have a promotion where you have to spend money for these items that we get. So they're kind of saying, oh, we realize you guys will fork out some cash. We'd like to sell you something too.
But legal mumbo jumbo is no purchase is necessary.
I don't get that. Can you write in for a code like you can do some items?
Maybe. I don't know. I've always heard that's how you can get around that, is if it's no purchase necessary, you write in for a code and they give you a code. But
or is it? Do you remember the Doritos Call of Duty thing? I had a freaking ball with that.
Now
was it 2 years ago?
You can't do that with these.
Right. So 2 years ago.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. 2 years ago, Call of Duty, was it Black Ops 2?
Yes, it was Black Ops 2.
It was 2012.
So it was 3 years ago.
3 years ago. So Doritos and I think Mountain Dew had a promotion going where if you entered a code, you got some XP bonus time. I said, those are printed on the outside of the bag, so I'd go to stores with my camera phone or the camera on my phone and take pictures of the entire rack.
And then send them to all of us.
And I gave everybody in our group, we were playing with like 8-9 people then every night. I was like, here, you want some time? You want some time?
Yeah. It was it maxed out at 24 hours. And that's what it was. You get 24 hours of double XP.
I think it was 15-minute increments or 10 minutes.
Yeah, you get. I think if you bought a 12-pack, you'd get like a 30 minutes to an hour or something like that.
That's right.
The more money you spent, the more time you got. But yeah,
I said screw that. I'm taking pictures. I went to store after store after store, and that might be bad in someone's eyes, but you can just call them and get another code. So if I took a picture of your Doritos and you wanted it too, and it was used already, you just call them back. You get one. But I did it. I had a good time doing it. I don't care.
I really hope somebody listens to this podcast, tweets us, and say, I remember that I entered a code and I didn't get time for it.
Well, if you're from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, then it was you. Then I'll give you a prize. I'll make it up for you because that's where we're located. So anyway, the promotion for Red Bull here, only in 7-Eleven, however. So that puts, as we just said, North Carolina here, or at least in our part of the state, out of the...
I've got 7-Elevens around me.
Where do you have a 7-Eleven?
In good old Kang, North Carolina, there's a 7-Eleven. Kang. And there's one on University Parkway.
I didn't know that. Pardon me, everyone. I just got Southern. Well, I'm going to come visit you more often.
So you can get some Red Bull?
I don't drink Red Bull, but I just want the code.
Well, the code is under the tab, so you cannot, without popping that top, you cannot get it. And they said in the article, it said it will come a little later to Walmart for the multi-pack.
Interesting.
And
also
they're
a little
doing
later.
The way it read to me was they're doing the double XP thing will be a 30-minute increment that you can use, just like a telemetry. So you're going to put this code in, and you're going to get access to this. I guess we're talking about this now, but you're going to put this code in. You're going to get access to this quest that will eventually open up on New Year's Day to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll also get these little, they called them something, but it showed a nice little emblem, like a Destiny end game. You could tell it was their real marketing, what they're actually going to offer. And it gives 30 minutes of XP boost. Now, what's interesting, what I'm curious about is, will this boost on top of our Nightfall bonus? Because that'll be kind of nice. We'll level up stuff extremely quick.
I was wondering what I need to even level up. The only thing I can think of is the new
subclasses. Yeah, that's all we're going to have to level up.
Okay, that's
or new guns. We'll have to level new guns at that time. But
now the telemetry part, yes, I get that.
Yeah, it's called
strange.
Focused Light.
Focused Light. That's the name of the quest.
And it's that's the name of the one-time consumable. Said Focused Light is a one-time consumable bonus XP buff, which increases all experience gained by 50% for a period of 30 minutes. Each specially marked can includes a code. Multiple codes can be redeemed, but only one code can be used at a time.
That's pretty interesting. So to go back to our microtransaction main topic, they're going to sell you a 6-pack of microtransactions. Or should we call them bevlemetries?
Good try.
I like it. So it looks like we are heading that direction. I understand promotions, but...
And I mean, it don't matter to me. I'll go buy a damn Red Bull to get access to this quest because I want to play the quest because I'm curious about it.
Me too.
Or actually what I'll probably do is people at my work drink Red Bull like they're crazy. So I'm going to be like, look, dude, take your ass to a 7-Eleven and buy your Red Bulls and give me the code you got on them.
I'll go half on a pack with you. You take 2... I'll take 2, but you got to drink mine
I'm
first
not
because they're
drinking
just
Red
going to
Bull. I
spoil.
hate Red Bull.
Well,
I'm a Monster
we'll
kind of
give
guy.
If anybody wants our Red Bull, we'll pour it in a bag and mail it to
Yeah.
you. Anyway, so microtransactions, that better not be the direction we're going to go for things that are important. I'll just wrap it up with that.
Yeah. Back on topic now. We got to talk about the VIP awards, or not awards, but VIP items they're giving us.
We're year 1, man.
We are year 1. We've been here.
We've been playing this
since week 1. I can't say I'm a day 1 Guardian. I'm a week 1 Guardian.
Did I get it? I don't remember if I got it week 1 or day 1. I forgot. You were the last to get it out of our group.
Yeah, I think, and I got it on like Thursday, so I was only 2 days late.
Don't ever take yourself out of year 1.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not taking myself out of year 1. Put my damn time in.
So VIP rewards, Bungie's telling us if we've reached level 30 on any Guardian, or if we've purchased both DLC, The Dark Below, House of Wolves,
and vanilla, of course.
Oh yeah, and vanilla, by August 15th. So you still have a couple months to be year 1 in their mind.
Yep. Which is
you'll be able
technically. I mean, that's a month. That's only 11. You know, they're counting a year as 11 months.
You're right. You'll get you came in on the last half of this section of the game, so I'll buy that. So you're going to get a special shader, or not shader. You're going to get a special Sparrow. You're going to get a special, which is all black. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Get a special banner. What's the official name for those things?
Emblems.
Emblem, I'm sorry. And it's kind of a black tiger stripe with a little tiger guy in the corner.
Yeah, I don't know what the tiger is. I don't understand. I don't know what the symbolism behind the tiger is.
I don't know that either. It's not bad.
No,
I don't really care for those.
Bad.
The ones I like are pretty much the ones with the animals that I can already buy now. If you've noticed my emblems for my characters, I've got like the yellow hawk or eagle.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the cobra, obviously, for my main character. And I've got the blue and white wolf, which I think is pretty cool because I got a female hunter, and that's, I don't know, it just fits her.
You know, I don't know
She's
if I've
sexy
ever
with it.
noticed that. That's how little I pay attention to those.
I like just how I like the design of them. Since I went to school for graphic design, they're nice and clean and simple.
Yeah.
2-color designs, 3-color designs. So I just kind of go towards
I
that
like
kind of
my
thing.
Dead Orbit ones. That's the
I
ones
need
I
to delete
have.
the ones I've got.
Yeah, that's the ones I've got on. I think almost all my characters. No, I've got the queen, 2 of the queen's ones on some of my on 2 of my characters.
Right.
And then my main runs Dead Orbit.
I just want to delete them all. The extra ones I have, I know I'll never use, but I don't know if I'll be able to get them back. Anyway, I got to make room for this new VIP stuff. So if you're in any of those frames where you got a level 30, which probably you do if you listen to the show, or if you had both expansions, or you buy that by 2015, you're considered year 1 and going to get some stuff.
Yep.
Now, aren't there some XP boosts in that too, or is that not part of that?
I'm thinking what I'm thinking. They haven't said this, so it's all speculation. I'm thinking our new class items we're getting are going to have XP boost in them already. Like we've heard people at E3 talk about their class items having like a telemetry sort of built into them, like I think it was called like pulse rifle focus and heavy machine gun focus or something along those lines. That may never make it into the game. Just because we see it at E3 doesn't mean it's going to be there when the Taken King releases. But that's a pretty good visual of what's going to be in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they've crunched down our stat numbers a lot, but that may change and may go back to how we do it now, which is I've never really understood. I don't know where they come up with the max intellect or strength or whatever. 100% intellect is 274 points. Like I don't know where the hell they come up with that number at.
Yeah.
The new way, if it stays, is a lot more easily understood. If it's a 44, you're at 44%. So, in the numbers are not going to be anywhere near as high as they are now. So, I don't. But I think the new class items are going to be what has our like an XP boost kind of built into it.
A lot of XP boosting going on this direction with Destiny, the way they're moving forward with so many different ways to get XP boosts.
Yeah. I was there. I was there when we didn't have no damn XP boost, and I've leveled up 4 subclasses. 4, or actually, take that back. I've leveled up 8 subclasses totally, technically, because I had two Titans.
Two Titans.
Two Titans, and the both subclasses were leveled, just off of running bounties and switching and, not purposefully leveling them up, but just playing through the game and actually leveling them up. I've fully leveled 8 subclasses.
So what you're really saying is back in our day.
Back in our day, yeah.
Well, everyone has talked about this XP boosting thing, and no one should really be mad at that because typically what happens if you come late to the game, they want to get you.
Yeah, they want to get you up to speed.
Up to speed with where people are now.
Yeah, because if not, and I've got a guy at work that I try to talk into buying the game.
Who is this?
This is Brad.
Oh, okay.
I've tried to talk him into buying this game, and he wouldn't buy it. He almost went and bought it one weekend. This was back right after Dark Below come out. So it's been a little while. And I keep trying to, I keep hinting at him, when you going to go buy this game, when you going to buy it. And he's like, I'm so far. He's like, I'll be so far behind, yada, yada, yada. So it is daunting to new people that want to come play this game that, hey, I'm starting out, and there's people in here with, anywhere from 0 hours up to 2,000 hours, and probably going to be 3,000 hours by the time we see House of Wolves come out. Or not House of Wolves, but Taken King come out.
It's a lot to take in, a lot to understand.
It is, and there's a lot there that we've learned as we go, and the only problem with coming in this late is if you've got friends that play. We had another one of our friends that switched from PS4 over to Xbox. He's got both, but he bought the game for Xbox because we bugged him. We played with him until we were level 12. So we were
This must be Daniel.
This was Daniel. We were somewhere on the moon, and he got mad and didn't want to play because he wanted to walk around and look at everything. And I'm trying to sit here and tell him, hey, you're going to see this a lot. Let's get through this story mission. You can look around when we're on patrol. There's no reason to look around down here. Look at that crack in the wall down here. Trust me, it means absolutely nothing. And he got turned off of that because we were just trying to play the story mission and not take an hour to play a story mission.
Well, that's part of what you lose when you're new.
Yeah.
If you're trying to catch up to everyone, you're going to be rushing through.
Yeah.
We might have mentioned this once or twice. You're going to rush through, and you're going to miss the experience of the first-time discovery. Yeah. Everyone else has been there, done that, seen that, and they're going to say, no. And that does take something out of it.
It does take a little bit. And it takes a lot out of it to not have to go the way we went with having to go through Vault of Glass and then having to go through Crota's End, and then now... Mm-hmm. At the time of Taken King, it's probably whatever they're going to... I don't know what they're going to do to bump our levels, but if it stays the same, let's just say we're going to stay the same for shits and giggles. They're going to be able to hit 20 and then buy items and jump to a 32.
Right.
We had that grind of finding our items and then having to run Vault of Glass with pretty much blue gear, maybe one purple piece, and that's an experience that they won't ever have. But and a lot of people don't have it now.
That's a part of now. We're going to get into the Eurogamer interview shortly, but part of what Luke Smith mentioned at the end of that was this experience, and that's the value.
Yeah. That
was a great time to play Destiny because you were experiencing it the first time with people who were doing it the same pace as you, or at the same time
for the most part,
and not having the gear you need and still trying to make it through. And you were so excited when you found your purple to complete your all purple set or all legendaries or something. That kind of upgrade was great.
Or chasing the helmet in the hard mode as a level 29.
Yes,
that people say you must be level 31 plus now to do because you do more damage, quote unquote, sarcasm. If you can't hear it.
Hashtag asshat. Anyway, so that now the way the game has changed seems like every phase it does evolve. And the same way we started at year one or day one is not the same way these new people are going to be coming in. And I don't understand. I hope it doesn't continuously change. I hope this is long, small, or whatever, short steps to a bigger game mechanic where they figure out here's how you're always going to level it up or level something up or.
But
you know what I'm
honestly,
trying to say?
now here's a question that I haven't heard anybody ask. As of Taken King, we're going to have 3 subclasses in each class.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have each elemental damage. Will we ever see another subclass added?
We need to see another box added to hint at that.
Yeah, that's true. I don't see them having any reason to add another subclass.
I would say no.
So
save that for the next game.
So what? Well, see, what would you even add then? Because we're going to be able to, supposedly, speculation, we're going to be able to transfer our characters to Destiny 2 when it comes out.
Right.
Which is great because I really don't want to have to redo all that shit again.
Right.
And especially whatever level we'll be at by then, Nothing's hinted at levels now. Or there's rumors saying we're going to be up towards the 50s with Taken King. And it's going to change. Like, everything's changed of how we do it now. They're changing everything, but nobody knows if that's true or not.
Right.
But why would they add another subclass of, oh, hey, you'll be a Titan with 2 arc subclasses and 1 of each? I don't see them ever adding another subclass. I could be wrong, but what would you need to re-level up after this?
Mm-hmm. I don't see a point in
as
doing
a
that.
brand new player, what would you ever have to re-level up with the next, let's say, major expansion? Because we know they're not going to add anything big like that on the smaller expansions.
You're talking about we've leveled up all 3 subclasses at this point, or it will be shortly, and then the next, what do we chase, right? That's a good question. I want to say by that time, they found a mechanic, they found a device to go from here on out.
Right. I hope so.
I don't...
Because they've changed a lot. There's so much stuff that's changed that I think they can see that they did wrong in the beginning.
It seems like they make fixes that only fix for the time being. They apply tape. They apply other tape.
Yeah.
And like the first time where we did the exotic shard, and it was like, well, it got us through, but that was no longer important, no longer part of any other kind of history of the game other than you use that exotic shard to now ascend your
And
exotics.
now exotic shards mean absolutely nothing except ascending
That's
gear.
right. That's what I'm saying.
If you get a brand new piece of gear, or not even a brand new piece of gear, if you get any exotic that drops after House of Wolves, you don't need an exotic shard anymore.
That tape just does not stick.
Yeah, and
then
it is, like you said, it's weird. They've went through a lot of
and a new player, right? A new player coming in. If you would go look at the speaker and see all these trades and changes, and I can turn in this for that. What? They don't need that.
Yeah.
So
and there's nothing in the game that explains it either.
There's really not. So you got to ask somebody, be involved in the community, and start Googling it up. So whatever they apply tape here, I hope it's a change for not the better. I mean, of course the better, but we're not broken now. We're just, you can see how rickety the game has been moved to the next phase each time.
Yeah.
Everything becomes obsolete after.
And I like the way they went.
In the previous
I like the way they went with everything is now your class material and an emote of light, or a mode of light. Not an
what do you mean?
Not
now?
an emote of light. If you break anything down, you get.
Oh, right.
You get plating, wire, or essence, and a mode of light.
Right.
There is no you break it down, get a shard, or break it down, get energy, or the only place to really go get shards and energy anymore is from the raid, either raid or from. I think public events still drop, and daily mission may still drop them. But I mean,
I couldn't tell you the last time I did a daily mission.
I haven't done one in so long. I don't need to. I have no need to. I have no need for it whatsoever.
Right. Well, with the new guys coming in, they're going to need help with the nightfalls.
Yes.
Well, it depends on what they get, but the armor drops should be a lot better than when we had it, but they are missing something.
Yeah.
They're missing that first challenge. Now, we've spoke about this value that's being offered from Luke Smith out of this Eurogamer interview, and we were all angry and all hot about this interview. So we mentioned his damage control up first, which we just got news on, but this is what we were going to base the show on previously. Eurogamer, I'm sure you've heard about this, but just to catch anyone up who hasn't heard about it yet, which you must have been living under a rock.
Yeah.
Eurogamer's a popular website, gaming site, who did an interview with Luke Smith, and it got a little snarky on Bungie's side, talking about, I've got to buy something I already own from the collector's edition.
Yeah, and the way he come off in the interview is he didn't care. They're like,
he said,
if you want this, you've got to buy this. That's period. That's what it,
right.
That's
right.
how it come across.
And he says, Luke says to everything that the Eurogamer interviewer, which I forgot his name, I think it's Tom something, he says to him every time he mentions, I don't want to have to buy these 3 pieces of the game I've already purchased, Vanilla Destiny, House of Wolves, Dark Below, to get the collector's editions. I'll give you money for this digital content, emotes, class items, class items, and the Vanguard weapons, which are pretty much meaningless.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, and Luke says, the only way you can get that is spend $80.
Yeah.
So that's where the point of contention started with a lot of people, because even though Luke says he empathizes, he said that several times in his interview.
I empathize with everybody, but this is how you have to get this.
That's not empathy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No.
That now we're changing it, but I'm going to say it now because I wanted to say it. Bungie, you messed up when you said that. But I understand he probably was put into a hole. He was backed into a corner by this interviewer, and he just came across.
And so he shouldn't have been interviewed. He's not the person that should have done this interview.
The creative director does have some say, but not the spokesperson.
They're not the spokesperson. They're not articulate enough with their words to get out of tough questions.
Exactly. You need the marketer in there to speak.
Yes.
Oh, it's great because
Deej is very articulate and can sidestep a question quicker and better than most people I've ever seen.
Right.
Now we still call him on the shit, but it doesn't piss us off because he knows when to not say something, or it doesn't piss us off as bad as what Luke Smith did, is because Deej can sidestep that question and redirect and change the whatever that's his job. That's what he's good at. That's why he's there.
Right.
Is he is that mouthpiece.
That mouthpiece that pretty much put his foot in his mouth, got into some hot water. Pretty much. I'm going to go to the part that made us upset. We kind of mentioned it here. Let me go to it in this interview as I see it. Eurogamer says, let me back up. Okay. Eurogamer says, final question on the prices. And Luke Smith says, is it also the final question on the emotes? Now that kind of stuck at me a little bit. Like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Yeah. You can't get them. Stop hammering it. Yeah. Well, maybe we can find a better way to say that. Yeah. And he did apologize. Yeah. I know this. And we're talking after the fact.
And like I said earlier, if this would have been a video interview, to where you could see his facial expressions and hear the tone of his voice, I think that was meant as a joke.
Right. I could tell it. I could tell it was snarky anyway. Yeah. Like, not snarky. I could tell it was joking, but it still held value. Not value is the wrong word to use. It still held meaning to me.
Yeah, but I think if this would have been a video of him doing this interview, and you see him, just being a smartass about it and trying to be funny about it, I don't think it would have had the same impact that it did here.
Sure. I'll buy that for $1.
You're spending a lot of money tonight. You're throwing money at the screen.
I spent $2. Luke also mentions about these digital content items, the emotes specifically. They're so awesome, you would throw money at the screen. That's why we've mentioned that. Yeah. However, he's pretty much saying it doesn't matter that you've already purchased pretty much half of this package to get them. It doesn't matter. The it doesn't matter part is what has a lot of people hot too, because I'll see people quoting on Kotaku. Kotaku is my favorite place to see people's dumbass comments about why they don't play Destiny. Someone said earlier, I'm not going to buy Taken King because I'll be too busy playing Witcher 3. By the way, that's from a developer who cares about their player base. Now, if you can say Bungie doesn't care about their player base.
I mean, they've just proven that.
How wrong are you?
Yeah, I mean, they've proven that
care.
they come out and they've 100% listened to us, because if they didn't care and didn't listen to us, we wouldn't have gotten a weekly update a day early, and we wouldn't have had somebody going back and saying, hey guys, I screwed up. I'm kind of sorry it come out the wrong way. You know, this is what we're changing because we realized we were wrong about it the first time.
That's a relationship. That's a relationship with your customers and your player base. Yeah. If they didn't care, nothing would have been changed. There would have been nothing ever done. So I understand that's butthurt, jealous Destiny haters. But this interview was pretty entertaining, and just hearing the responses. You said that there was a subreddit created twice on Reddit because there's so many responses to it.
Yeah, not a subreddit, but a mega thread, where they just roll everything all into one thread, so it doesn't take up the entire subreddit of Taken King this, Taken King that, Luke Smith this and that, and all that. They just put it in one big thread that gets commented on.
Right. Well, the part that I think is valuable here, because they mentioned value, is who the purchasers of these bundles are going to be.
Yeah.
Let's get into that. So $40 we discussed isn't a big deal. But as I was learning, there was people being upset about the pricing and what Devin, the disgruntled Destiny player, was saying. Didn't we cover this a little bit last week?
Yeah, we covered a little bit. We hit on it last week.
He mentioned how everyone has gotten the stuff cheaper than we did, and also mentioned how if you're used to Game of the Years, you always wait and you get a better deal.
Right.
Because they want to continue to sell their items.
The thing is
it's older.
We bought it when it was new. So everything's more expensive when it's new.
Absolutely.
You can't expect somebody to come out and pay what we've paid for this game a year later. That's never going to happen. And it doesn't matter what game it is. Except Grand Theft. They seem to think their game is still worth $60. I want to play that game again, but I am not paying $60 for that game again.
You can buy money for that game still. They love it so much.
There you go, microtransaction shit.
Right. It's a nicely a nicely edged-in way of getting
Back
some
in my
stuff.
day, we glitched the shop where we could sell a car we owned more than once and got all the money we needed. We didn't have to buy money. But anyway,
just take it.
Another game.
So $40, okay for expansion. However, adding three expansions plus a regular game for $60. I don't know if everyone was that upset about it, but I guarantee someone was. We just mentioned Devin, the disgruntled Destiny player, not being happy about it, but he changed his tune into the big issue. When you buy the collector's edition, you get the digital stuff plus all the things you already own.
And the only way to get those was to buy the collector's edition.
And that's why we're all mad. So we've sat here and thought about this a little bit, and we said, okay, that is valuable to players who have never played the game. And also, we'll throw this into the people who are on Xbox 360 wanting to convert
or
to
PlayStation
Xbox
3,
One.
yeah. The last gen Guardians out there wanting to convert up. That is an amazing value to do that. And especially
awesome.
with the price cuts that's going to come with Xbox One being down to $350 now. I think PlayStation 4 is still at $300 or $400, but imagine, me and you both bought our Xbox at the same time on Black Friday. We both paid $350. We got the Assassin's Creed bundle, and we got a $75 Target gift card.
Yeah.
So we essentially paid, minus the games, we paid $275 for our Xbox Ones last year.
Right.
Now and that's when they were, I think, a $400 price tag. I think they were supposed to be $400. They had them on sale plus the gift card. Now, this year, if they're at $350, are they going to go to $300 plus another gift card? This year, this holiday season will be a really good time for somebody that's on last gen to step up because of the price of the consoles that have dropped so much over the past, at the time will be 2 years. And
Right.
then the game with, actually, I don't know if they would. Yeah, they would have to buy the new game because they would have to have it for the new console.
That's exactly why it's an excellent deal
Yeah,
for them.
that's I had a brain fart there. That's what's such a good deal for them is they would get the game, the DLCs, and the new stuff for the same price as the game. Back when they bought it a year ago and been playing on it for a year.
Right. And with the virtual 360 coming to Xbox One, the backwards compatibility,
Yep.
and the bigger hard drive Xbox with the new controller coming out, those are bell tones to me that 360 is winding its way out
Yeah.
of support.
I've heard it from Devin, the disgruntled Destiny player. I don't know where he read it from, but he's saying he read somewhere where Microsoft is no longer making games for the 360 after this year.
After this
It
year,
will be
I've heard
it will be phased out 100%. They will not produce any more games.
I've heard 2015, 2016 myself, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
They want to push the one
Yeah,
and
they-
let
I
that
mean,
be
it's-
the one.
The Xbox One's hardware is 10 years old. It's it's time for it to, or not the one. I'm sorry, the 360 hardware and the PlayStation 3 is 10 years old. It's time for them to be put out to pasture.
Hang their numbers in the rafter,
Yeah.
There's still life in the 360 to me. But now, our friend Boza, who's on 360, he's tempted to get that one. I know he wants to.
Yeah.
Now
He's
we
been
can-
wanting
we
to
can
for a
probably-
long time, and he ain't switched over yet. But
So that package is for him. Legendary package
Yes.
is for him.
that's
We've-
the main people it's for. That and brand new people that's coming in, if they feel like they can start and not, if they're not scared to feel like they're left behind, kind of thing.
Right.
That's who those packages are for. They're not for us.
I wonder how much they talked about the people who already have this stuff will buy it anyway was talked about at some of these marketing meetings, because not everybody's going to be a new player. The player base who has been there forever is definitely a customer.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be betrayed by the company who I'm spending all this time with just to suck out an extra dollar. I want to be felt like I'm valued. And yes, the $20 change is now in place, but I don't want to have to ever go back and think about them saying they'll buy it anyway.
Yeah.
Don't ever tell me I'll buy it anyway.
Yeah.
Because value is mentioned. That's not valuable to me.
No, it's not valuable. There would be, and the thing is, there would be no way we could sell it. We would be able
Right.
to sell our old game, but it wouldn't come with, it would the old game after the Taken King comes out, I will see as being a $5 game, because you're going to have to, if you buy the vanilla Destiny used, you would have to purchase 2 expansions and the Taken King. I don't know what they'll sell those expansions for, if they'll even sell them anymore. But that the vanilla copy of Destiny becomes useless to anybody that wants to play anything other than level 1 through 30 Vault of Glass raid. That's it.
Right. Right. One of the paragraphs to hone in on, kind of, since we've gotten past what's in the packages, who gets them, is what we hinted on earlier. I'll read that to you. Luke Smith says, at the end of this interview, it's also important to remember the temporal value or valuation of content. If you played during the Dark Below, you were seeing sword bears everywhere. That's gone now, and you can't recapture it. Some things are being left behind as we move forward. It's the same with House of Wolves. Right now, with the Fallen showing up over the solar system, these things are gone and less relevant as we move forward, as the Taken are everywhere. Okay, if I purchase this item that I've already got, I don't get that anymore. So how is that valuable to me?
Right.
The current player, the in there since the beginning player. It's not. You can't do it, so I don't need that stuff.
Right.
I can do the raid. I can do the strikes. But what you mentioned of the temporal value, it's gone.
Yeah.
You've taken that away.
Yeah, and that kind of makes me wonder about, we've got we can still go get our sword bears through Air Smorn, through the mission. But when Taken King comes out and the pack of wolves that are prowling, how are we going to do Petra's bounties? They're
if
still
they move it away.
Yeah, if they take that away, which it sounds like they will, and I kind of expect them to. Does that just kind of nullify all of her bounties?
It wouldn't be the first nullification of Destiny, so I would not be surprised.
Yeah. I just don't know how they're going to completely eliminate that. I guess it's not that big of a story mission, but neither was Eris's. Or not a story mission, but that section of the story behind why we're in the reef, and go kill this dreg that is blah 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 kind of thing.
Like I said, I want to talk about the history of Destiny one day, and this continues to make that a more interesting story. They have changed the game from their first inclination of it. And it feels to me, they made a successful game however it was made. Honestly, it seems like they pulled it out of their ass.
Yeah.
But it seems like they've always been on the back pedal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Does
always
it ever feel that way to you?
they always go back and change something they've started with it. And sometimes it's for the better. Sometimes it's not, but I mean, I hope it seems like they're trying to take it in the better step now.
Right.
As long as it keeps going forward.
It just feels like they're in a fight, and they've been rocked and reeled, they've been punched on the chin, and they're about to fall over, but they're still moving. It just feels like they're teetering. The game isn't broken, but they just do these patches that just don't. I don't know. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I understand.
It just seems like they can't get the right foot forward. They're not on one particular method of making this game work. Let's do this change, now let's do that change. Now we got rid of those things. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So they just have that back pedal feel to me. But I still love the game. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So to not have like this set form of how we're going to make the game work go forward from here on out, and what you can expect.
Yeah.
It's still something we all love to play. So I would say that covers pretty much our main topics. We read this new update this afternoon before we did the show, and we're like, well, that sucks. That kind of takes our show away from us.
Yeah. It was kind of a bittersweet moment, because it was like, hey, this is what we wanted. They're redeeming themselves here. This is good. But no, it kind of ruins our show now, but not so much. It didn't ruin it, but
right. We got our points in. I think we made our point, and I would hope you guys feel the same way. So even though our show got hijacked by the update today from Bungie, we're still going to read one of the comments we got on Twitter when we asked what you guys thought about the Collector's Edition debacle. And the F Monkey came through. F Monkey last week was mentioned, and he's our new friend. So here's what he had to say about that. I like what he's got to say. He's pretty level-headed.
Pretty well said,
says, yeah. Until we get the lowdown from Deej tomorrow, which is Thursday, we're freaking out for nothing. Is the exotics emotes worth freaking out about? Kind of, to some people. But anyway, he continues to say, let's not let ourselves be ruled by the mob mentality. We can and should be better than this. They will take care of year one players. And they have so far. He continues also. He's okay with $40 unless someone can convince me that the exotics and emotes are worth $40 more. I think it's a clear choice. But I will wait for more information from Deej before I make my choice. Not everyone will be happy, but I'm sure most will be. And yeah, I like his opinion. I like his mental state where he's not just going to jump in. I want to say I got upset genuinely before knowing what the crowd said.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you did, because you're not on the, you're not on social media sites as much as I am to read the stuff that's going on.
Simply for time.
Yeah, simply for time. But and I'm on my downtime. I tend to have my face buried in Reddit if I'm not if I'm not playing or anything. So I kind of read those emotions and those reactions a lot more than you do.
Yeah. Did you see mob mentality?
Yes.
I think I remember seeing a couple of the same people posting over and over this one particular message complaining about how people new coming in would get things cheaper. And I think I might have mentioned that to you guys. This is earlier before Eurogamer even started this interview. But I could see something growing.
Yeah.
People were just repasting and posting on Kotaku this one particular thing.
Yeah.
But as Monkey says also, Are the exotics worth freaking out about? That seems to be subjective. To me, I want them, but I'm not going to pay $80. I don't know. What do I see?
Well, see, now it's kind of, that comment's kind of, we got to kind of throw that out the window now, too, because it's not $40 more. Now it's $20 more.
True, but I would just go through and get the whole damn thing. The coins, the junk, just because.
Yeah, but if you can't get that junk now, if that junk is still all sold out.
Well, you know why.
Well, yeah, I know. You're going to resell it, but
I'm going to go flip it.
Yeah, but I mean, for you to actually have and use, are they worth that?
I'm saying no.
I'm saying
Effing monkey.
They're not worth it to me either.
Right. Effing monkey, you weren't bananas on that, and I appreciate it.
And that's it for the show tonight.
Episode 6 is in the bag, guys. Thanks for listening. I'm SN95 Cobra R. He is
PEFXEclipse.
And you can find us both on Xbox Live. That's our gamer tags there. You can also follow us at Warsat Radio on Twitter. Come join the conversation. And stay tuned for my mode of light.
We're out.
All right, everybody. Very simple mode of light this week. It's a quote that you've heard probably your entire life. Maybe your parents told you when you were a kid. It's something you might have taken for granted, but this is very serious to me. This is a quote from Zig Ziglar. He's a salesman. He's a motivational speaker. He's got a lot of great thoughts, a lot of great quotes. The quote is simply, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. Now, we're not on Oprah. We're not on Dr. Phil. We're not going to try to analyze each other's psyches. But, seriously, let's look at this. If there's anything you want to go do, if there's anything you'd like to achieve, no matter how big nor small, I say go do it. If you can see yourself in those shoes doing it, I believe you can do it. And here's an example. I'm just a guy doing this podcast about a video game. But years ago, my dream, and it still is a passion of mine right now, was to be a professional wrestler. And some of you guys might think that's absolutely freaking ridiculous, but that's fine. This is what I wanted to do. And it doesn't matter how you think. It's cool. You have your own thing. But I wanted to be a pro wrestler, and I said, what can I do to be this? So I started to train, and I started getting in shape, and I started preparing for it. And then here came an opportunity to be on a reality TV show that WWE and MTV put on called Tough Enough. And I sent in my tape, and I got called for the audition. I showed up for that audition, and I was on the show. I got chosen for the show. I'm just a guy who had a desire to do something, and I got to be a part of this gigantic thing where I was trained by the people I used to watch on television. And it changed my life forever. And I believe that's simply because I could dream about it. I could see myself in those shoes. And then after that, I was able to go train at their developmental territory. I got to wrestle all these guys that I'd seen on television. And it was one of those things where that's where you say, I can't believe that happened. But I can believe it happened. And I knew it was going to happen. I used to have dreams that were so vivid, I knew they were almost real, of me being in the wrestling business. And I just always knew I was going to do something with it. And I did. I wasn't ever a millionaire or anything like that, but I said, I want to be a wrestler, and I got to do so. And I got to do so with the WWE. So no matter what your goal is, if you have one, no matter what your dream is, I know you've got one. Everyone's got one. I challenge you to start doing something about it. Make one step. And what's going to happen when you start making steps and you start making these small little victories, you realize how much more is possible. And that's why I stand here, I'm going to just say at the top of achieving something and say it's possible to do anything because I've done something. And it's so crazy how we sometimes think everything is so hard or impossible. But once you start making small victories, you can see you can really do anything. And thanks for listening to the Moto Light this week. Thanks for listening to the whole show. Do us a favor, share us on your social media or tell a friend about us. We want to continue to grow, and we can't do that without people like you. Thank you so much, guys. Be well.